I've always had decent luck, but again, I would just lose everything, bro. And every time I would lose something, instead of working harder on my craft, I would just jump to the next mentor and try to work hard on that for a bit. And then as soon as I lose a bit, then I go to the next mentor. And I feel like I prolonged my route to success by years, bro. Like.
All right, what's going on, guys? This is James Storms. We have my brother here, Emmitt Smith, or Emmitt Trades. He's an ambassador for Fortune's Funding. So we're gonna dive into his story today. So let's just jump right into it, Emmitt. Pleasure to have you here, and I appreciate your time and thanks for coming out. He's from Tampa. He flew out to Miami for the weekend. We're showing him around. We have 3 other traders here as well that I'm gonna interview back to back right now. So yeah, let's start, bro. Tell us a little bit just about your upbringing. You know, where you come from, you know, your childhood, your parents, you know, just make it brief, but just get like your background.
A little childhood too. I mean, I was born in New York, and I moved out to Colorado when I was 5 years old. And then I've been in Colorado my entire life until about a year ago. I moved to Florida.
Okay.
And I chased out here to live the trading dream. And I kind of don't like Florida at all, to be honest with you. So I'm about to move right back to Colorado. But for the time being, I appreciate all the connections I'm making. Oh man, it's hot here, bro.
Yeah,
it's very hot.
Yeah.
It
gets cold. It gets cold there, though. You know, too.
I dig the cold, though. I think one of my most favorite things to do in the world is to ski and snowboard.
Yeah,
so, and
that's
can't do that here, you know.
No, that's true. That's true. Okay, so you moved out here. Tell us about just like a little bit about like your school, work, you know, then transition into trading.
Yeah, honestly, I mean, I was not good in school at all, okay? I'm a very intellectual, smart person, but I never cared to go to school, to be honest with you. So, like, after middle school, I didn't go much at all. I was really focused on, getting out of my home and making my own money for myself. And so school is a bad topic for me. Even college, I went to college for a semester to be a neurosurgeon. Really? Because my mom's ex-husband is a neurosurgeon, so I wanted that whole title, and I wanted to make the money behind it. And I went to college and did medical terminology for a semester, bro. And like one of the most boring, awful things I've ever done in my life. So I dropped out and started working at Panda Express to get out of my house, And that was at 17 years old. Yeah, I got it when I was 17. It never went back. So.
Okay. Yeah. And so you started working Panda Express, and then
labor, brother. After Panda Express was like plumbing and waterproofing skyscrapers and labor jobs, because I got into a bit of trouble when I was younger.
Just grinding.
All labor stuff.
So at what point did you find out about trading?
Yeah, so IML, as everybody got started with, it was just so my boss of that moving company just introducing me to some type of meeting that was going on in downtown Denver to like up my finances. And so I went out there, and it's a whole bunch of 18 to 25-year-olds that are, I mean, at least I thought from my standpoint, everybody was rich as shit, honestly. Everybody's making money. This guy who was hosting the event, he was 18 years old, and we're like,
how old were you during this?
17, so 20.
Oh, so this was
22.
Oh, 22. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay.
And
you're how old right now?
I'm 28.
28. Okay. Cool.
Yep, I'm 28. So I just went up there, and it's like they started talking to me about trading and such. And to be honest with you, it's all marketing, bro. Like a little bit about the charts, but mostly, if you get 3 people to sign up with you, then you don't have to pay the cost. And
they brought a lot of people into the space, and then once you get exposed to it from there, it's it's up to you what you do with it, But at least they bring people in. I don't think it's not a good place to bring them, but they brought them in,
Mm-hmm.
So, but go ahead.
I never went the marketing route. I really wanted to learn how to trade. And so I went through a very awful, tough process of learning how to trade through Fibonacci was all I traded. I mean, I literally would find an impulsive leg. I put a Fibonacci up, and then as soon as 78.6 hits, I would take it.
Just trade off that.
I put my stop loss below the low. Yep, and that's it. And I had good runs, and then I would lose everything. I've had good runs, and I lose everything. I'm like, man, there's got to be something more to this. And why did I feel that way? Because Instagram. It's like you start to follow all these traders, and you start to see all these Lamborghinis, and everyone's winning every day. Nobody loses. I'm like, shit, there's something more, than what I'm doing. And so I started buying courses outside of IML, and started to go into support and resistance and supply and demand. And honestly, like, I've always had decent luck, but again, I would just lose everything, bro. And every time I would lose something, instead of working harder on my craft, I would just jump to the next mentor and try to work hard on that for a bit. And then as soon as I lose a bit, then I go to the next mentor. And I feel like I prolonged my route to success by years, bro. Like
So
4 years.
were you buying courses, or were you like doing mentorships like directly with these
Courses,
people?
no
Courses.
mentorship.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah. So that's another thing that, like, when you take a course, can you can't really ask a question to a video, like that's why I never released a course. I mean, I've always thought about it, but I just don't know how, like, if you can't scrutinize like somebody, like for me, like I don't want to show, like I don't want to put my strategy out there that I can't like help people like tweak what their behaviors are, because I can show
Understood,
you how to
yeah.
use a screwdriver, but if you don't hold it the right way, how are you gonna twist the screw, the
Understood.
right way, So so all right, so you instead of kind of just refining the mistakes, you were just like, all right, this is not working, like, so
Next shiny object. What's the next best thing?
about how long would you say you spent on each strategy, like before you kind of, couple months?
3-4 months,
Yeah.
nothing at all,
Okay.
And again, it seemed like every time I would start a strategy, I would always do well the first couple weeks.
Right.
And then again, after that 3 to 4 months, like you hit one bad losing streak, and instead of trying to sample size and understand what I'm doing wrong, I just run away to the next thing.
Right.
And so 4 years
Why do you
later,
think, before you go next, why do you think that is?
because I'm not perfecting my craft, I'm just trying
Yeah.
to jump to the next thing and hoping that it's just going to be
Yeah, and
better without actually
what do
putting
you
the
think,
work
like,
into it.
what do you think psychologically, like, what changed for you to, from going from there to then transitioning?
Just tired of watching everybody continuously make it happen while I'm just stuck at square one.
Right.
And it's like something has to change. I never journaled when I first started trading for the first couple years. So I didn't have any data to sample size and understand what I'm doing about shit. I'm just
Right.
learning somebody else's strategy, but I'm not perfecting it to make it my own.
Right.
And so once I started journaling and understanding, okay, during this time and this time, I do a bit better than I do during this time and during this time. Okay, I'm a better seller than I am a buyer. When it's coming to my zones, I can't just take every zone. How can I make sure this zone more often than not is going to hit? And then actually starting to get all of this data, like, things started changing for me, bro. I started getting real consistent profits.
How long into your like, you started at 22? What age were you started getting consistent?
4 years in, so 26.
26. Okay.
Yep,
Cool.
2 years ago.
Yeah, no, I think that's really important. People definitely don't take advantage of their own data, like, which is so valuable, especially specific. It's valuable in general. Trading data is valuable, but your own data for yourself is so important, because that's you. That's how you're operating in the markets, because it might not just be a technical reason. It could be a psychological reason where
Sure.
every time you're in profit, the market pulls back a little bit and you close your trade for no reason, and if you can identify that, then you'll be able to make a better, more informed decision going forward. That's the biggest thing. Like, you make mistakes, you analyze the mistakes, you realize, okay, this behavior was wrong, or this technical thing that I'm doing is not accurate, or I did it the wrong, whatever it is. You identify the issue, and then you make the refinement. You make the change in behavior. Okay, I can't do this anymore. I have to, every time I'm in this scenario, I do this. Everything has to be very algorithmic, and there has to be a if then type of thing. If this happens, I do this. If this happens, I do this. So because a lot of people end up getting in trades, they're over leveraged. The money is fucking with their emotions, and then they just make an emotional decision versus a decision. You always need to make decisions based on the market and the market alone, because the profit, your balance, your equity is only relevant to you, and the market doesn't care about that. That's nobody cares about that. You're up 10K, someone's up 100K, someone's up 1 million, someone's up 10 million. It's the ocean. It's like you're like you're splashing in the ocean. Like, there's a 700-ton fucking whale beneath you. So I think that's the biggest thing that people need to understand, that decisions always based on the market itself. So, all right, so now you start getting consistent, right? You're 26. At what point would you say, like, what for you? What does consistency look like for you? Because it looks differently for everyone. For
Getting
myself,
paid.
Getting paid, like, how much, or how many times, or over what period
On
of
a
time?
consistent monthly basis, getting paid.
Right.
Obviously people have bad months. Well, sometimes you have bad months, but just consistently taking money out of the markets.
Right.
And that kind of first started with trying to withdraw every week out of smaller personal accounts. But I wasn't making anything, you know what I'm saying? Like I'd make tiny profits and I try to withdraw every Friday instead of compound. That's why it's cool meeting people like you who can flip a couple $1,000s into hundreds of thousands of dollars. I'm not that type of trader. Okay, like that's why I was super excited about prop firms, because I'm really cool with that 1 to 2% per trade and focusing on upping my capital instead of these very aggressive full margin trades. You know, I'm just completely different than your trading style.
Right.
And it works. And so I think, and going back to your old point, I think it's just progression and consistency, bro. Every single day doing the same exact thing. And over time, I start to understand these little minor things. Honestly, I just can't teach. It comes with experience. That's why I always tell people on stream, I can teach you the foundation of my strategy, but you're never going to become profitable with it until you have time with it and make it unique to yourself, you know?
Right.
But yeah, 2 years, bro. I've been profitable for 2 years now.
And you stream a lot, right?
Every single day.
And what's the streak right now? You're on a streak, right?
It's only three right now. I'm on a 3-1 streak right now.
No. The streak of you streaming every day. How many days in a row have you consecutively?
5 months, bro. So a very long time.
5 months straight.
5
every
months
single
straight,
day.
yeah. Next week will actually mark 5 months.
And that's again, that's something that's that's one of the main components why you're successful, because you show up every day and you're disciplined.
And I also think I'm starting to watch my win percentage get higher through the course of even these 5 months, bro. You know, it's kind of cool to see. So in May when I started at a 71%, and then June came by and I was at a 73%, and then July came by and I was at 76%, and then August I had a bad month. It was 69% for August, and then sitting right now I think I'm at like a 70-something%. But the progression, because I'm being consistent, it's starting to pay, and I'm starting to see all my hard work pay off. So
that's dope. No, I think that's dope. Like a lot of people watching need to understand that he has the data. Like you have years of every trade you take, you have a documentation of it.
Every last one.
Right. And then I know we spoke a little bit about it, but you haven't really like gone super deep into the data yet, which is fine. But when you do, you're gonna gain so much more insight into like how you operate and just your strategy in general. So like let's talk a little bit about the strategy that you use. You know, obviously you've learned a lot of different things. What without giving away too much sauce, but what have you what
the course.
Yeah. What have you what changed for like what do you use now and what do you find is most effective?
So I'm a supply and demand trader, and I literally do 3 steps every single day in the market. I go on the hourly time frame. I look up my impulsive leg. At that point, I have to decide, do I want to buy or do I want to sell for the day? And I don't switch that at all, period, for the rest of the session. Okay, then I go down to 15, 5-minute. I mark up my zones, and then I enter on the 5-minute. But I think, talking about the biggest breakthrough, I think it's the impulsive leg on the hourly, just sticking to that bias no matter what goes on. I know people call it manipulation or what have you. Or grabbing liquidity, just sticking to that same bias every single day has done extraordinary wonders.
And how do you determine your bias?
By market structure on the hourly.
Market structure on the hourly. Okay. So if price is made a lower low, you're waiting for some type of pullback and you're just looking for sells only.
That's it.
And what kind of entry signals are you looking like on the lower 5-minute?
5-minute time frame for entry signal.
Yeah.
What literally nothing at all. As soon as it taps into my zone, and that candle closes, and then the next candle breaks, below the previous candle lows for a sell or above the previous candle high for a buy, I enter, and that's it.
Okay. And then what type of, like how big are your stops? What pairs do
So
you trade?
I trade AU, GU, GJ, and NAS.
Yeah.
AU's 3 to 5 pips, I think, almost every day. I guess about 3 to 6 pips. GJ and GU,
10 to 15.
probably 8 to 15,
Yeah.
And then NAS is heavy. 10 to 20 points or so.
Okay.
And then targets are the same every single day. So as long as we haven't broke out of the London higher low, when I get into my trade, I'm always chasing the previous session higher low. That's my target period.
Okay.
I don't go beyond highs and lows because I always tell people don't lose money the same way you make money in the market. And one of my setups is a liquid grab. And so I don't want it, to grab highs or to grab lows and then end up taking us out or you're bringing all the way back to B without capitalizing. So
Right.
I guess like one thing as a profitable trader, if I want to talk about that I do want to work on is going beyond that higher low. But at the same time, I don't really wait multiple weeks for a trade. I trade every single. It's rare that I don't take a trade every single day that I'm in the market. So
Right.
I'm cool with my 1 to 3s to, every trade is between 1 to 2 to 1 to 6. It really doesn't go beyond 1 to 6 when you're just trading that previous session low and high.
Right.
You know.
Do you ever swing or hold any
Nope.
entries? You always, at the end of the day, you're in cash.
Done.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. All right, that's dope. No, that's dope. I mean, that's I mean, you definitely are the epitome of just discipline, bro. Like showing up every day, doing the same thing every single time, and the results are there. You have 70% win rate, 1 to 2s, 1 to 3s. You're making money, like there's
And
no
we do it live
there's
every
no
day,
question. There's no question. Yeah, no, he has his own live streams that he does. He streams for Fortunes for our YouTube as well. What days do you stream?
Mondays and Fridays.
Mondays
and
and
I might be
Fridays.
picking up Tuesday. So. Yeah.
All right, I mean,
We're
that
here,
guy's locked in.
Hey.
All right, so where do you see yourself going with trading in the next 5, 10, or even just entrepreneurship, or what are you kind of actively pursuing outside of how do you want to grow, from where you are now?
Just my community.
Yeah.
I want passive income to continue to come in for myself, obviously.
Right.
But I want to grow my community as big as I possibly can,
Right.
and in return, obviously, I can help you out and build your community
Yeah,
as
of
well.
course.
And,
I mean, we're pouring each other's cups.
I have a skill. I always tell people, so when you bring somebody into trading that doesn't know anything about it, you're kind of fucking up their life, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
now all of a sudden their life that they're so accustomed to, they hate the shit,
Right.
And so it's a powerful tool that we have. We have a lot of power in this world. And I understand that, and I try to guide people through everything, and that's why I do everything live every day. But genuinely, bro, in the next 5 years, I want to do nothing but exactly what I'm doing and grow my community.
Yeah, I mean, to touch on what you just kind of said about fucking up their life, I mean, it's up to them you're going to get broke. You're going to get punched in the face. Like, if you're trading, you're going to get punched in the face. You might knock 2 or 3 teeth out. It's up to you if you want to figure it out and figure out how to, make money and get some new teeth and keep it pushing, So, like, it's a very dark road to go down. And I've obviously, there's the success stories get very popularized. But there's a whole for every success story, there are a lot of horror stories. I get messages all the time. I lost, $3 million. I'm 800,000 in debt, like all kinds of crazy shit. So everyone watching, if you're gonna walk down this path, like I was telling, I think Austin or someone yesterday, no, the guy we met outside the ice cream shop. I told him, I was like, the brand new kid. I was like, listen, if you're gonna trade, you need to understand that you're about to climb Mount Everest. And if you're not ready to be at the peak, we're not here to go halfway up the mountain. We're not here to go up 75. We're here to see the peak of the mountain. Mm-hmm. So if you're not ready for that climb, don't fucking climb. Simple as that.
Yeah.
Because you could, if you're not ready to fall down, roll down the mountain 75 feet, breaks half your fucking body, like, if you're not ready for that, like, don't fucking climb. I'm sorry. Like, it's just not going to be good for you, and you're going to have a bad experience. And then you're going to be like, oh, trading's a scam. It doesn't work. Like, that's not true. Like, it's just the people that deserve the results have them. Mm-hmm. You deserve your results because you've put in years of time, showing up every single fucking day. Most people can't even, whatever it is, most people can't stick to the only thing they stick to that's consistent is a 9 to 5 because they have to. Mm-hmm. If they didn't,
I mean, a lot of people think just showing up to the chart every day is going to get them somewhere too. I mean, You really need to sample size everything you're doing to grow your edge within the markets. Right. Showing up is not enough, you know? So,
right.
Yeah.
All right. So what do you want everyone out there to kind of know? Like, is there any like things that this is your time. This is your time to shine.
Just as far as trading or my group?
In general, yeah.
Just like I spoke to you guys back there about, just switching strategies was the absolute worst thing that has been for my entire career.
What would you have done differently?
Just stick to one thing and grind it out.
And just kind of make tweaks and adjustments and
sample sizing is everything. The reason why I'm profitable is because of sample sizing, because of my journal, because of showing up every single day and doing the same exact thing. And it's like, damn, I keep getting stopped out by the setup. Why is this happening? And then you just continue to progress forward. But it's all still the same foundation, Like, I'm not trying to grab everything from different people to have this master strategy. No, I mean, it's a foundation. You support and resistance, your supply and demand, fundamentals trade, and that's kind of it. And then in order to get your edge higher from that point, it's experience and time, bro.
Right.
But again, I'm 6 years trading and only 2 years profitable. That means 4 years of pain and misery. And I did it to myself because I kept, again, just chasing everybody else's shit instead of understanding I kind of know what I'm doing. Let's sharpen the sword and make it happen for myself.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah. Dope.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, guys, I appreciate everyone that tuned in.
Yeah.
Emmitt, bro, I appreciate you for coming through. Definitely, we'll have more. We're having more, things like this. Anyone
sure.
that's an ambassador, like I want them plugged into everything that we're doing. Like we did the trip to Tulum, last 2 months ago.
I'll be there for the next
And
one.
we're gonna do another trip soon to Colombia. So like any of you guys watching out there with communities and stuff, you want to become an ambassador, by all means. It's just got to be there. You have to have results. Like that's I don't care how much clout you have. If you can prove that you have results in the market, I'll respect you and we can have a discussion. So
Real
Emmitt,
trading,
I appreciate
real results,
you.
brother.
Yeah, I appreciate you, bro. Thank you for your time and thank you.